Okay, so I was planning on putting this React video in conjunction with the whole fig story together, but I think that's going to be a little bit long for a video, so I think I'm going to split it into two parts. I hope you like this little React video, and if you are excited and interested to learn more about the complicated story of the figs, then I encourage you to check out what will be next week's video ASAP. It'll be over here somewhere when that goes live. Hello, my beautiful love bugs, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy, for those of you who don't know me, and I am an entomologist, which means that I study bugs, and I live in Quito, Ecuador, where normally I am doing tourism focused on insects and ecology and local culture and all that stuff. I've recently just moved, hence the pretty chair, and tourism is picking back up again, so with all that combined, my upload schedule has been a little bit wonk, so thanks for being here. Also, if you want to keep learning about bugs and stuff, feel free to subscribe and definitely hit that bell icon, because like I just said, my upload schedule is a little bit wonk, not good for the algorithm, but at least I'm honest about it, so make sure you get notified. All right, let's get into it.
I thought I noticed something like in the fig. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I cannot. Oh my God, I think I'm gonna throw up.
Okay, so first of all, this is like a very visceral reaction, and a reaction that many Westerners have when it comes to eating insects. Let's talk a little bit about what I think she's going to see. She's probably going to see tiny, like millimeter long, translucent wasp larvae. Wasps, like many other insects, especially butterflies, go through complete metamorphosis. So they have an egg, they have a caterpillar or a larval stage. In this case, they probably look like translucent little maggoty things. And then they go through a cocoon stage, and then they'll emerge as the adult. You would like never notice these things unless you are actually looking for them. And while she has a very visceral reaction to this, it's important to note that many people throughout the world do eat insects, both alive and dead. About 2 billion people eat insects. Here in Ecuador, we do eat insects. One notable example that's actually kind of similar to this is the guava fruit. If you go to any of the rural areas that grow guava and you open that fruit inside, you can see like little larvae, little translucent things crawling around in there. I think they're probably fly larvae, but I've never reared one out, so don't take my word on it. Anyway, many traditional medicine doctors in the area will suggest eating guava with those little fly larvae in them, because they say that it's good for your gut health and promotes good gut flora, right? Because you're eating the things that have gut bacteria in them that are eating the stuff inside the fruit. So it's very common and like not really a big deal, but making it not a big deal is not good for TV or Facebook or clicks or any of those things. So continue.
The other day I got sent a really nasty bit of factual information about how nature works.
Welcome to nature.
From a friend of mine who likes to gross me out. Thanks, JB.
He says you're welcome. I also say you're welcome.
And I have figs right here, and I figured I'd share it with you live, because if it's true, I'm probably never eating a fig again. I just don't think I could stomach it. So let me give you a little warning and disclaimer right now.
Trigger warning. Also, if you are grossed out by this and want to watch any of my other videos, here's a playlist. If you want to watch me eating some insects, click here, I guess. If she is not going to eat figs ever again because of some little translucent wasp larva that you wouldn't even notice after you cooked them anyway, then I highly suggest that she doesn't look at this list of all of the acceptable insect parts in all of your processed food. Like chocolate bars, well, I also hope that you like eating cockroach legs, because, you know, you're allowed like 6 cockroach bits in a chocolate bar.
If you love figs, you probably don't want to watch this post. What I'm going to do, because there is this massive, beautiful fig tree right here, I'm going to test the theory. I don't think it's a theory. I think it's a fact.
It is a fact.
Get this fig. Okay, got it. Nice. See that little hole right there in the bottom? Okay. Female wasp goes in through that hole. She lays her eggs or whatever she does. Then the male wasp crawls in through that hole, pollinates, and then I think the babies fly out. But the female wasp dies inside the fig. The fig reabsorbs her body and serves it to you in the fig. The male wasp sometimes dies inside as well, but sometimes he makes it out. Honey, what I tell you, you ain't.
Okay, let's go through that. That's close. Yeah, I give her like a solid 80% on that. I give her like a solid 80%. It's a pretty complicated facet of nature and exactly what's happening in here. So I don't blame her for for getting any of this wrong. So good job. Very, very close. Let's talk about what the fig is. The fig is this basically internalized garden. So you have the fig fruit, but that fig fruit is really the flowers and the seeds and the fleshy bits. It's like everything. Inside this fig fruit, near that hole, you have male flowers in the front and you have female flowers in the back. Male flowers only produce pollen and that's it. Female flowers are what is going to produce the fruit and the seeds and ultimately make new and more figs for your enjoyment and consumption. The figs cannot self-pollinate. That would just be bad if your own fruit can self-pollinate itself. A lot of plants can do that, but genetically, when we talk about it, it's like better to have variation. So many plants prevent them from being able to self-pollinate. For example, chocolate is one of those plants. Okay, so the female wasp enters the hole. We're gonna be doing this a lot, so we're all just gonna have to be mature about it. Okay, the female wasp enters the fig hole. In the front here are those male flowers. She bypasses the male flowers, goes straight to the back, lays her eggs, and pollinates those female flowers. I believe she dies inside. I tried looking it up. I didn't find any super clarifying information. I assume that she dies inside. When we're talking about these wasps, we're not talking like yellow jacket size. We're not talking about giant Asian hornet size. We're talking about wasps that are like literally millimeters. So we're like, it reabsorbs her body. You're not going to find like crunchy wings or anything in there. They're just like so tiny. So that's the journey of the female. The eggs, they then hatch. They are these little larva-like things living their best life, eating everything inside the fruit, protected from all of their predators, so convenient to be inside. And then they will go into the cocoon stage. The male wasps will emerge first and then inseminate the females that haven't emerged as adults yet. They're still inside the cocoon, like living their best life, and some male just comes in and like stabs her and inseminates her. It's hard being a female insect. The males, after the females emerge, the males will help the females escape the fig, but they will also ultimately die inside the fig. So you're eating lots of mostly male wasp bodies. The female wasps now must actively go past those male flowers in the front and collect pollen. This is an important step. She must actively go past those flowers, take the pollen, and brush them on herself. It's a pretty complicated behavior. And then she will fly out of that fig and then try and find another one in a good state to lay her eggs in. Thus, the cycle repeats. What's really interesting is the fig needs the wasp to actively pollinate it. So if the fig tree realizes that it has a fig fruit that has not been pollinated, either because a wasp never went in or a wasp went in and cheated and never actually grabbed pollen to begin with and lays her eggs in that fig. Regardless, the fig can tell whether it's been pollinated or not, and then will literally drop the fig fruits that have not been pollinated, because you don't want to put energy into something that's not going to give you any offspring. This is also important because if a wasp went in and didn't pollinate and lays her eggs, her offspring will also die because the fig isn't developing at all, so there's nothing for those wasp larvae to eat. This ensures the fig will continue on the genes of only the good pollinators, and this helps eliminate cheaters out of the system.
Never gonna eat a fig again. I hate to ruin it for you because these particular black figs are so delicious. I'm gonna cut this open and I'm gonna see if I can find any wasps.
She's probably not gonna find any adult ones, just because, you know, they don't live very long, and once they emerge, they're like GTFO, but yeah.
Oh my god, oh my god. Oh, yeah. Oh my god. I cannot.
Guess she found some.
Oh my god, I think I'm gonna throw up.
You got this, girl. You got this.
God. Hold on.
Deep breath. It's okay.
I can do this.
Yes, you can.
Wait till you see the worms.
Okay, yeah, so she calls them worms. They look very maggot-like. They're like little translucent little thingies that she's gonna see in there. And
I bet you it's wasp larvae.
It is wasp larvae. Yes,
okay.
Queen.
Okay. All right, nature. Come on, Mother Nature. Oh my gosh, they're just wiggling around in here. Can you see? I don't know if my camera is gonna let you see this. Oh my gosh, it's true, you guys.
It's true.
It is so true. I don't know if you can see the little white. Let me try to hold it real still. Any movement you see on this fig is not the glistening of the fruit. Those are worms.
Yeah, so that glistening, those are those translucent larvae that I was talking about that are just crawling around in there and eating all that good fig fruit stuff.
Those are larvae of wasps, my friends.
They are. Aren't they beautiful?
And this fly wants them. Oh, look, there's more. I don't know. This is a big bunch of them. Hold on.
Yeah, there's a decent amount in there. Wasps tend to lay like anywhere between like 50 and hundreds of eggs.
Let me show you this side. Yeah, they're kind of out on top. See, I don't know if you can see that, but wow, I cannot do this. I cannot even do this right now.
You're strong, girl. You got
gosh,
this.
It's true. Okay, so there you go. We've just on live Facebook found worms in a fig, and they are not a fluke. It is not this fig. It is not this tree. It is not maybe something that sometimes happens.
It always happens.
This is how wasps pollinate figs.
This is what we call an obligate relationship, where that fig needs a specific species of wasp, and the wasp cannot live without the fig, and the fig cannot live without the wasp. There are about 850 different species of figs, and only 2 of them are edible, but all of them have their own specialized pollinator.
And how they get their babies made.
Yes, that is how they get their babies
I know it's all
made.
mental because I was eating them before and I didn't have a problem with it.
Well, at least she admits that it's all like in your head, right? Sometimes ignorance is bliss, right? This I feel like maybe a case where ignorance was bliss. But like, isn't it so interesting that you know how this amazing, really complicated relationship works now?
We were so lovely and delicious.
They still are. They still are. Okay. All right. So she has kind of like the Cliff Notes version here of what the relationships of wasp and figs are. Like I was just mentioning, there are 850 different species of figs, and each one has their own obligate pollinator. So this one size fits all story is not true for every fig species. So let's talk a little bit about how this relationship and the relationship between wasps and figs in general gets way more complicated. Until that time, feel free to entertain yourself with some more Entomologist Reacts up here and some more Entomologist Explains down here. And until then, I will see you next week. Bye.